what you do, and it's certainly a challenging time and a time of great opportunity. Ronald Reagan would say in difficult times, it's a wonderful time to be alive. We're lucky not to live in pale and timid times. We've been blessed with the opportunity to stand for something. Corrie ten Boom tells a story in her book, The Hiding Place, that she was on a train with her father. They were out to buy watches and parts for the watches, and as they're traveling, and as children do, she just asked questions. She asked her father, "Where do babies come from?" And he didn't answer. He didn't respond to her, and she was wondering. They got to their destination. He just ignored her and didn't respond at all. And when they got to their destination, he took his case and he said, "Corrie, would you take that case and carry that off the train for me?" And she reached down and she tried to pick it up, and she tugged and she pulled and she couldn't even lift it off the ground. She says, "Daddy, I can't." And he said, "It's the same way with knowledge. Some things are too heavy for children. And when they're older and when they're ready and they're stronger, then they can carry things on their own. And in the meantime, we carry those things for them." Board member, superintendent, I've had so many comments and so many people come to me, constituents, my constituents, your constituents, and people across the state, so concerned about what you talked about, age appropriate, about materials being age appropriate for our children in schools. As you know, I passed some legislation in 2022 to deal with that. We're still looking at others to do that. We passed legislation in 2019 to deal with the policies of how do we prevent even the grooming types of practices where children may be sexually abused. We know that 1 in 4 girls, 1 in 6 boys are sexually abused before they turn 18. Utah's not exempt from that. The most recent data we have is 1 in 10 children in schools are sexually assaulted, and not from other children. And the data and studies we have on that. And as you know, just last month we had an incident in West Jordan High School where a student was sexually abused by a teacher in the classroom. These are serious issues. We have in Jordan District, I would say in West Jordan High School, we have 15 books that rate 4 out of 5 on the scale, that they're not appropriate, they're not age appropriate for children. And yet the what is it called, folio, still shows that those are in the schools. In the district, we have 64 books that show on folio that are 4s or 5s, that by definition are not age appropriate for children at all. And yet they're in the schools. In Jordan District, there are at least 40 materials that were deemed to have no serious value for minors in other districts. And yet in Jordan District, those materials are there. Other districts have said, we don't even need to review them as a whole under 7610-1227, which is one of the standards in the HB 374 that we passed last year. This is a concern. I don't want to raise blame. I hope things don't come across that way. This is an issue, and in a compulsory education system, school needs to be the safest place on earth. Parents trust their children. They're compelled to put their children in school. They have some other options, but we have a compulsory education system. This needs to be the safest place on earth. There are plenty of studies I could provide to you that the sexualization of the environment, there's a correlation between sexualization and sexual exploitation and sexual abuse. I'm here to simply plead that we all work together to desexualize our schools and our classrooms completely. Some things are too heavy for children to carry, and it's up to us to carry them for them until they're stronger and until they're ready. And I hope that you will work with us, that we will not rest, we won't stop until we've made our schools the safest place on earth, because there are some things that children just cannot carry. We should not expect them to carry, that we carry them for them. So thank you for what you do. I hope that you will work with us to make our schools the safest place on earth, particularly when it comes to things that are so precious as the virtue of our children. So Thank you very much. That's all I have to say. I commit to you. We'll continue to work with you going forward on these things. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Mayor Staggs.